Channel 6.
Chief Meteorologist Tim Miller, weather coverage you can count on. Weather headlines on News Channel 6, brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Attorneys.
It's the first week of October, and the weather is staying very consistent, at least for now. Our highs will be around 80, lows around 60, but then over this weekend, it will be cold. I'll have all the details on that coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 6, how Congress averted a government shutdown at the midnight deadline. We have those details. And Augusta kicks off Children's Week with the sounds of cheers, music, and fun. Your News at 6 starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Renata Dubose, and thank you for joining us for News Channel 6 at 6. Coverage you can count Washington. The American Red Cross of South Carolina is helping a displaced family after a house fire. The fire took place Friday afternoon on Old Jordan Road in Aiken County. Volunteers are helping the family of 7 by providing financial assistance for immediate needs such as food, clothing, and shelter. McCormick County Water and Sewer urges some customers to boil their water. Officials say people on Driftwood Lane and areas around Savannah Lake should boil their water for at least 1 minute before cooking or drinking. Dirt and debris may have entered the drinking water system due to a water line break in the area. And meteorologist Jenna Petracci joining us now for a first look at forecast. And it was a pretty nice day today, Jenna, for the most part.
We had a beautiful weekend. It's the first day of October, and it's feeling like it with temperatures around average and plenty of sunshine as well to enjoy. Here's a look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Sky View Cam over at Augusta Marriott. Just some puffy cumulus clouds overall. A pretty nice sunny and dry day. No rain today, and notice our high right on track with average at 84. Same exact situation with our low. We were at 60 degrees this morning, and that's exactly what we can expect for an October morning. Upper 70s to low 80s now. 81 in Augusta, 84 in Louisville, Millen at 80, 82 in Wrightsville, 81 in Waynesboro, with dew points all in those upper 50s to low 60s. So a decent amount of dry air has moved in, coming in from the northeast. That's our wind direction. 11-mile-per-hour winds in Augusta, 8 in Aiken, 9 in Barnwell. So a bit of a breezy Sunday evening with really little to no clouds across the two-state and certainly no rain. We do have a front down in Florida with some showers, say anywhere from Orlando down to Miami. But other than that, dry across most of the southeast. And for tomorrow, a nice sunny day, mid-60s in the morning, climbing into the low 80s by the late afternoon and evening. So a nice start to October. Cool mornings near 60 degrees, warm days near 80, and then by the weekend, we'll have some big changes. I'm forecasting a front to come in from Canada, bringing in some very cold air for our weekend mornings. So coming up, I'll have all the details on that, so stay with us. But back to you, Renetta.
All right, Jenna, thanks. Local organizations want to alert children in the community about what resources they have. Augusta Partnership for Children hosted a parade that kicked off a week of events. It started on 7th Street in downtown Augusta. Children and parents lined up along those streets where high school bands played, dancers performed, and floats filled the streets. Parents say this is a great start to the week that celebrates children and teens.
This is one of the events that allows kids to come together in like the safest possible way, letting them know that they're supported by the community. Just following through with the commission leadership, city leadership, the mayor, the entire commission, like they bring together events like these to support our kids and let them know that there is safety in numbers, that you can trust adults and be in an environment that's uplifting for you.
More activities for children will take place in Augusta until Friday. You'll have more information about those events tonight on News Channel 6 at 11. Well, people in the Richmond County community got together to say, put down the guns. State and local leaders met at May Park for the second annual Guns Down Shoot for Success event. The goal was to continue raising awareness for an end to gun violence, and other local organizations gathered to support the mission. Artists, speakers, vendors, and more attended the event to honor lives lost and make sure no others are taken.
The reason that it's important
for other organizations to come together and for us to get together as a community, because we are a community. It should not be a division. And if we could come together with all the Stop the Violence organizations, then we can come together and work as a unit. You know, where there's several people, we have different ideas, and we would be able to put that together.
The group offers trade skills and other opportunities to introduce young folks to a more positive and proactive way for success. Savannah State University faces a multi-million-dollar budget deficit and a sharp drop in enrollment. Students speak up with their concerns. Here's Tyler Carmona.
I was enraged because one of my favorite teachers let me know that she wasn't allowed to come back and teach English. And I just figured, how do you not have an Africana studies at an HBCU? Or how do you not have any African American or black teachers in the English department at a historically black college or university?
Since May, the school's budget has decreased by $11 million. At least 27 employees have been laid off, and the university's president resigned. Despite being the oldest public historically black university in the state, the school cut their Africana Studies program. Though the budget is decreasing, students still have to pay the same price for tuition.
With tuition being the same, it was kind of a scare because it's like y'all cutting all this stuff but still charging us these high amount of prices for like the basic stuff that we get in.
Carl Gilliard is currently on an HBCU tour with the Georgia Legislative Black Caucus. He says funding is an issue that must be addressed.
We see struggling students all over, but more intentionally at HBCUs. I do not think that we should overlook that every little bit helps. And when funding has been cut from these institutions, it hurts a lot on every individual student.
On average, Georgia universities have seen a 6% decrease in enrollment since 2016, but Savannah State has seen a 40% decrease. According to Gilliard, funding goes hand in hand with enrollment. So if enrollment continues to trend downward, these budget cuts will only get worse.
In efforts to improve funding, the Alumni Association set up a donation page on Savannah State's website. Coming up, some clouds and a lot of sunshine. We'll have more details on your full forecast with Jenna after the break.
You can't, I'm not your boyfriend.
It's happening right now at Rooms to Go. Shop 100 rooms under $1,500, like this versatile queen bedroom with lattice or upholstered headboard, plus dresser and mirror, just $888 or $18 a month, interest-free, in free finishes. Now at Rooms to Go.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Good Sunday evening. I hope you enjoyed the sunshine this weekend. It's the first day of October and it's starting out really nice. We are looking at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam over at Doctor's Hospital. Just some cumulus clouds. It's been a dry day with overall mostly sunny skies. Sitting at 81 degrees, feeling like 81 as well with a dew point of 58. So a little bit of drier air in place, humidity at 46%. Not too bad. And we also have a northeast wind coming in at 11 miles per hour. So a little bit breezy outside with temperatures anywhere from 79 to say around 81 degrees. Very consistent. Slightly cooler out towards the Midlands, seeing those upper 70s, 80 in Bamberg, 80 as well in Millen, and 84 in Louisville. So notice across the southeast, pretty much dry today with a cold front. Down towards the south of Florida with some showers and storms around. But for us here, we are really not going to see many changes over the next couple of days. High pressure is in control. That'll keep us warm and dry with near average temperatures. Calling it sunny and nice all the way through your Wednesday. High of 83, low of 57. The exact same forecast over the next 3 days, something we don't see very often. Now, also with our dew points, those are staying consistent as well, topping off at around 59 degrees for the next 3 days as well, then up to 60 for Thursday with a slight increase in clouds. So for tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, upper 50s to start, low 80s by later on in the afternoon. So just nice weather over the next several days. As we take you through this feature cast over the next 48 hours, you'll notice really not seeing many changes. Just some clouds here and there, but Tuesday morning looking great. Tuesday evening, still no rain across our area, but we will have some changes. This is on Sunday and will continue into next week. We have an Arctic front coming in from Canada, and this is going to bring our first taste of cold air for the fall season. And I'm talking pretty significant cold air. 50s as far west as Mississippi and as far south as parts of Florida, and we are also going to see some 40s in parts of the CSRA. So upper 40s I'm forecasting for our Sunday morning here in Augusta. 49 degrees. That's around a 10-degree drop off from what we'll have over the next several days, which once again is 57. Now, as for the tropics, even though it's fall now, remember hurricane season is still going on, and we can see that as we look at the tropics. We have Tropical Depression Rena. Notice this was a tropical storm a little bit ago, but it is downgrading and will be completely done with by tomorrow morning. Philippe, on the other hand, is actually going to strengthen. So it'll turn west a little bit, but then move north towards Bermuda as a hurricane. Luckily, still staying away from the United States. Lows tonight in the upper 50s. Highs tomorrow in the low to mid 80s, right around average. A nice warm start to the work week. Plenty of sunshine all the way through Thursday. Then when we have that Arctic front come in, that'll bring an increase in clouds Friday and Saturday with a 20% chance of showers. But the main takeaway is definitely that cold weather. Once again, upper 40s on Sunday morning through next week.
Dare I say scarves and coffee?
And yeah, I'll be bringing out the beanies, trading that iced coffee for some hot coffee.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, thanks so much, Jenna. Coming up, a mass exodus of Armenian refugees. Coming up, it's the final day of the Ryder Cup, and Bryce Young is back in action for the Panthers as they take on the Vikings. Kira Ghosting has sports next.
This Sunday morning at 6 a.m. right here on WJBF TV.
Child trafficking in our schools.
It's something we don't talk about every day, and unfortunately we have to have those conversations because it's out there.
What are local schools doing to identify at-risk children, and what's being done to protect them?
Continuing to increase that awareness, I think, is the only hope that we have. We have a lot that we're not reaching. Adults need to be willing to step up.
A News Channel 6 special report, Hidden in Plain Sight, Tuesday on Good Morning Augusta. Weather headlines on News Channel 6, brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Attorneys. The News Channel 6 mobile app is now even better. Download it today. Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
It was another exciting week in the NFL, and the Atlanta Falcons played in one of my favorite games of the year, the London game, where they took on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jags and the Falcons inside Wembley Stadium, a packed house as fans from both sides showed their team spirit. Calvin Ridley back in action against his former team for the first time since being traded last year. First quarter, Jags ball on 2nd and long. Trevor Lawrence avoids pressure, then fires to Calvin Ridley in the end zone. 30-yard touchdown. That's Ridley's longest TD since December of 2020 with the Falcons, and Jacksonville leads 7-0. Under 5 minutes to play in the second quarter, Falcons trailing 10-0. Ridder is picked off by Darius Williams, who returns it 61 yards to the house for a pick six. Ridder would have 2 picks in the first half as the Falcons trail 17-0 at the break. Then early third quarter, Falcons ball 2nd and 1 near midfield. Bijan Robinson takes the handoff, cuts right, and explodes upfield for a 38-yard gain. Atlanta in Jags territory. Then later in the drive, the Falcons make their way 3rd and 9 at the Jags' 15-yard line. Ridder connects with Drake London in London for the touchdown. Great play by London, getting both of those feet in there. The Falcons are finally on the board to make it 17-7, but that would be the only score for Atlanta as the Jags get the win 23-7 in London. Meanwhile, in the USA, Bryce Young returns for the Panthers after missing week 3 with an ankle injury as they host Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. First quarter, Vikings ball on 3rd and goal. Cousins looks for KJ Osborne. It's intercepted by Sam Franklin Jr. Franklin takes it all the way back for the 99-yard touchdown. That's the longest defensive TD in Panthers history. And if we take another look at this, Kirk Cousins actually tries to tackle Franklin and ends up getting hit pretty hard to the ground. He's okay, but the Panthers take an early 7-0 lead. Then in the third quarter, Panthers now lead 13-7. Bryce Young drops back, sees pressure, gets sacked by Harrison Smith, and loses the football. DJ Wanham scoops it up and returns it all the way for a 51-yard touchdown as the Vikings take a 14-13 lead. Then with 1 minute left in regulation, Carolina trails 21-13 on 4th and goal. Panthers need a TD and a 2-point conversion to tie. Smith gets around the edge again, gets another huge sack on Bryce Young, and that does it. Young went 25 for 32, 204 yards and a fumble as the Vikings survive with the 21-13 victory.
Over in the MLB, the Braves are hosting the Nationals for a rubber match, and it's a wild one with Washington leading 10-9 in the bottom of the ninth inning. I'll have highlights of this game at 11 p.m. And finally, the last day of the 2023 Ryder Cup. The competition came down to nearly the end of the third and final day of the biennial Ryder Cup at the Marco Simone Golf and Country Club in Rome. We start with the marquee match of the day, Scottie Scheffler versus Jon Rahm. On 18, Rahm's 89-foot putt lands within 9 inches. That putt would ensure a tie in the match. So Team Europe moves to within 2.5 points of the cup. It would come down to Ricky Fowler versus Tommy Fleetwood. Team United States needing to win all the remaining matches as they have not won a Ryder Cup on European soil since '93. Fowler on the tee at 16. He lands that one in the water. A really tough break for the U.S. Later in the hole, Fleetwood needs to two-putt for the cup. He lags that one up to within just a few feet, but as Fleetwood walks up to mark it, Fowler concedes the hole, which also conceded the Ryder Cup to Europe. Fleetwood definitely celebrates. The fans start to celebrate as well. You can see a fan running out of the crowd across the green and then jumping into the water. He continues to celebrate in the water as Captain Luke Donald and Team Europe lift the trophy, the 2023 Ryder Cup champions. And that does it for sports.
Let's go.
ADDs.
For those looking for a guilt-free snack, this one might be the one for you. It's called Chocolate Banana Ice Cream Bites. The recipe only calls for 2 ingredients, bananas and chocolate chips. You have to make sure the bananas are a little overripe, cut them up and put them in the freezer. Then you blend them up for a couple of minutes and add some chocolate chips to the creamy mix. And then you put them in little mini muffin pans. In about an hour, you have a delicious treat that tastes exactly like banana chocolate chip ice cream.
Wow, that
I'm
looks
down.
really good.
Let's try it. We should do a little
sugar on top
cooking
of sugar.
segment.
I think when we
One
do
bite
these
only.
kickers that are food, I think we should try them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we always talk about them when we sound
I am so down. I would try even the weird stuff.
Yeah, there are some weird ones that we've done that,
Yeah.
that I feel like you're the adventurous eater, you'd try them.
I
Oh,
feel like this recipe needs like just a drop of peanut butter.
Yeah.
It does. This one's really safe.
Yeah,
It
it is
could do-
very safe. Maybe some honey. Honey might
Yeah,
be good in
honey,
there or something.
cinnamon.
Yeah.
We would jazz it
Well,
up.
Doctor this off a bit.
It sounds great though, but we would jazz it up. But for a 10-day forecast, the weather looks fantastic. Plenty of sunshine. Look how consistent it is. Lows at 57, highs at 83 through Wednesday. Then an increase in clouds, slight chance of rain over the weekend due to a cold front, which will drop us to the upper 40s Sunday through next Tuesday morning. Brr.
Getting colder.
And when it's 40, you can have your banana chocolate chip bites.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good
Yeah.
for it.
Cold treat, cold weather.
It works.
Yeah, all right, we'll be back at 11.
The weather will be nearly the exact same each day this week. Lots of sunshine, highs in the low 80s, lows in the upper 50s to around 60. But then over the weekend, we'll have some big changes. Be sure to stay with us for all the details on that.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 11, Augusta kicks off Children's Week with cheers, music, and fun. Plus, student loan payments resume for American borrowers. How this may affect retail sales. We have those details. And on the next for Jenny, leaders of Augusta University explain how AI can aid in education. Your News at 11 starts right now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 11.
Good evening, I'm Renata Dubose, and thank you for joining us for News Channel 6 at 11. Coverage you can count on begins with local organizations wanting to alert children in the community about what resources they have. Bria Smith spoke with a few excited parents.
This is one of the events that allows kids to come together in like the safest possible way, letting them know that they're supported by the community.
The Augusta Partnership for Children kicked off its Children's Week with a parade in downtown Augusta.
It's important that we have events that we can, basically have people come out and enjoy themselves and, not look at all the negative things.
The event is geared towards a brighter future for kids and teens, and will have activities each day of the week leading up to Friday.
It gives us opportunity for growth, letting them know that even from my daughter's 2 years old, so from the age of 2 up to high school, that you are supported throughout your journey, throughout your education, involving them well-roundedly in the community.
But not forgetting to have fun in the process.
Got inflatables out here, plenty of food vendors, like the best food in town, and you at the heart of downtown. So you can't get better than that. We got the spirit of James Brown right there.
Parents say local high school bands were a highlight, and they're glad to see teens doing something productive.
Glen Hills, you had Laney, Cross Creek, you had a lot of the great bands.
For more information on Children's Week, including a list of times and days, visit WJBF.com. In Augusta, Bria Smith, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Priya, thanks. We now join meteorologist Jenna Petrache with a first look at the forecast. Hey, Jenna.
Hey, Renetta. It was a beautiful weekend. Really can't complain. The weather was great. Temperatures were comfortable. Lots of sunshine. And right now on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam, it is looking pretty good outside the station. Not much happening. No rain in the forecast, not only tonight, but over the next several days. So no rain recorded today. High temperature matched our average exactly at 84. And not only that, but also our low, 60 degrees, spot on with average. So we have very seasonal weather over the next few days. Now that we're into the first week of October, very typical early fall-like weather. So we're seeing those low to mid 60s right now. 62 here in town, 63 in Thompson, 64 in McCormick, 65 in Louisville, 65 as well, Gibson, and 64 in Washington. So pretty consistent temperatures right now with our winds calming down for everyone. So it was a breezy day today. Now those winds are calm, which will allow our temperatures to really fall off under the clear skies and calm winds. So expect a chilly start to your Monday morning. Clear skies for everyone across the southeast. Some clouds down in Florida. Showers ending now. And tomorrow will be another beautiful day. So lots of sunshine starting early in the morning, continuing through the early evening. 64 at 9 o'clock, 82 by 5 p.m. when headed home from work. So a really nice start to October. Cool mornings near 60 degrees. Warm afternoons right around 80. But then this weekend, we do have some big changes coming. Not with the rain, but with the temperatures. We'll get pretty chilly, so you may want to grab some of those winter clothes. I'll have all the details on that with a look at what you can expect coming up. But back to you, Renetta.
All right, Jenna, thanks. The American Red Cross of South Carolina stepped up after a house fire displaced a family. It happened Friday afternoon on Old Jordan Road in Aiken County. Volunteers are helping the family of 7 by providing financial assistance for immediate needs such as food, clothing, and shelter. McCormick County Water and Sewer urges some customers to boil their water. Officials say people on Driftwood Lane and areas around Savannah Lake should boil their water for at least 1 minute before cooking or drinking. Dirt and debris may have entered the drinking water system due to a water line break in the area. Millions of Americans with federal student loan debt must pay their bills starting now. The government's unprecedented payment freeze was put in place as a financial cushion during the pandemic. Well, it was extended 8 times before ending today. 28 million borrowers will now have to start paying off their student loan debt this month. The average payment totals between $200 and $300. Retailers warn of the resumption of payments and how it could hit their sales as pulling consumers back on spending.
I think for most student loan borrowers, what it means is that they got to make some hard choices. It is a headwind to spending, and we need consumers to stay in the game. That's the reason why the economy's been able to avoid recession.
Borrowers can see if they qualify for the Education Department's new SAVE plan, which seeks to lower monthly payments for many Americans based on their income. Anyone looking for work can head to Augusta University for a career fair this week. The event will be on Tuesday at the Goodwill Job Connection off of Washington Road from 2 to 4. Job seekers should be prepared for in-person interviews and have resumes ready. Multiple career fields need to be filled. Keeping Augusta clean, improving our infrastructure, and making the city more business-friendly, all those topics will be on the Means Report this week. Commissioner Jordan Johnson is our special guest. He talks about his efforts to make his hometown a great place to live. He also talks about his passion for helping the homeless. Commissioner Johnson is working to help people get their lives back on track.
And it's so important that we understand that the government can help to a degree, but we have to lean on our nonprofit supporters. We have to lean on our partners in the nonprofit world. to help lift people out of poverty. But we have to be the champions. We have to be the ones who are presenting programs to perhaps help with childhood literacy, the fundamentals of making sure that people are coming out of poverty is education. What are we doing to support childhood literacy? What are we doing to make sure that parents have access to the support that they need? You know that old saying, you can teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. But what if they don't have access to the pond?
A very informative conversation with Commissioner Jordan Johnson. The Means Report tomorrow afternoon, 12:30, right here on News Channel 6. And it's a hot topic right now, artificial intelligence, or AI, and it's not going away. So what are the implications in education? Tuesday on Jenny, 2 leaders at Augusta University addressed that. They have helped mold how it should be used in education. And they shared that information with us. The director of the Center for Writing Excellence says AI software sounds human-like as it's making predictions about how people will talk and what will come next.
Is that scary to you?
For me, it's not scary if it's used responsibly and ethically. And I know, at Augusta University and in the Center for Writing Excellence where we work, we've been focusing a lot on ethics. Not necessarily that AI is good or bad in and of itself, but there are good and bad uses of it and times when it's better to use it versus others.
We will learn about ChatGPT and other tools that can help with time management. Plus, details about the annual Boo Bash at the Morris Museum. It's a free, fun time for the whole family. And author Susan Zorinda will be in the studio Tuesday at 12:30 on Jenny. Coming up, warm days and cooler evenings. Jenna has the breakdown for you when we come back.
Child trafficking in our schools.
It's something we don't talk about every day, and unfortunately we have to have those conversations because it's out there.
What are local schools doing to identify at-risk children, and what's being done to protect them?
Continuing to increase that awareness, I think, is the only hope that we have. We have a lot that we're not reaching. Adults need to be willing to step up.
A News Channel 6 special report, Hidden in Plain Sight, Tuesday on Good Morning Augusta. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Well, it's the start of the new month, so you know what that means. Time for September in review. Let's take a look at what happened this month. It was a pretty wet one. We picked up nearly 2 inches above our normal rainfall amount, 5.24 inches. Notice we had a pretty rainy stretch here from the 7th all the way to the 17th, so 10 days of some rainfall amounts. 2 inches back on the 13th and a couple of days towards the end of the month where we had some rain as well. Now, as for those temperatures, it was mostly cooler than normal. Our highest high was 95. Notice the stretch of 90s here that we had. But then by the end of the month, when we had those rainy days, we dropped into the low 70s. So a big variety of temperatures. A cool morning as well back on the 25th at 54 degrees. So say hello to October. We're starting to feel the fall weather as we go into this week, and I'll have all those details coming up. But in the meantime, our forecast looking good tonight. Here's a look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam over in Waynesboro. A dry and cool night sitting at 62 degrees. Winds are calm, which means our temperatures will be able to drop off pretty quick. And I'm expecting the 50s as we go into the overnight hours. But right now, low to mid 60s for everyone, pretty consistent, with clear skies for everyone as well. Not just for us, but all of Georgia, South Carolina looking good. Not much rain, just a few showers ending now in Florida. So the weather will stay very similar over the next few days. We have high pressure in control. That means it will be warm and dry with high temperatures in the low 80s. Actually, 83 degrees for your Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And not only is that the same, but also our low temperatures at 57 each day, possibly the most consistent forecast I've ever done. Sunny skies as well, so just beautiful weather to look forward to for this first week of October. Clear and sunny throughout the day, upper 50s, then once again climbing into those low 80s. And you'll notice not much happening on our futurecast. Really little to no cloud cover we'll see over the next several days. Definitely no rain in the forecast, at least until we go into Friday. That's when we'll see a cold front come in. And this isn't any ordinary cold front. This is coming in from Canada, bringing in some Arctic air. And that'll be our first taste of fall. So our temperatures will be falling into the upper 40s and low 50s, depending on where you are. And this cold front won't be bringing us much rain, just a 20% chance I'm giving it. The main story is definitely the temperatures. So after this consistent stretch of 57, we'll be dropping nearly 10 degrees cooler than that to 49 for your Sunday morning. Now, even though it's fall now, remember hurricane season still lives on, and we are watching two areas. Post-tropical cyclone Rina now. Just earlier today at the 6 p.m. show, this was still a depression, so the good news is that we're done with Rina. We also have Tropical Storm Feely. This will be making a northern turn just to the east of Bermuda, so it's staying far away from the United States, so that's good news, but some impacts possible there in Bermuda. Our lows tonight will be in the upper 50s for everyone. Highs tomorrow in the low 80s, right around our average of 84. Plenty of sunshine once again. Very simple forecast this week. Until we go into the weekend, 20% chance of rain Friday and Saturday with that cold front passage. But once again, the main story is definitely our temperatures. You'll want to bring out some of the winter gear this weekend because upper 40s, it's pretty chilly.
I was just going through my closet trying to look at the heavier dresses to see if I needed to wear them now, if it will be too hot. So this week.
Yes, when we're here Sunday, we'll be talking about it. We'll need to wear the fall sweater-like dresses when we come into work Sunday.
Noted.
Yep.
Okay.
So there you go.
All right, thanks so much, Jenna. Coming up, how Congress is working toward a long-term solution to prevent a government shutdown. Those details when we come back.
When you heard
Last night's Powerball draw was left with no winners. It's been 32 drawings now without a Powerball winner. For the second time this year, the Powerball jackpot is worth $1 billion. Tomorrow night's jackpot is the fourth biggest Powerball ever and the second biggest of this year. Firefighters face a number of on-the-go job hazards. Now the CDC wants to know if one of those is cancer and when reports.
The CDC's National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health has created a national firefighter registry for cancer. This is a voluntary registry aimed at better understanding cancer and its possible causes among firefighters in the U.S. The CDC says the goal is to enroll 200,000 firefighters from the numerous and diverse backgrounds of the U.S. Fire Service to get a better picture of the widespread problem. All firefighters, active or retired, can join the registry, as well as those with and without cancer. To join, visit the CDC website to create an account and for more information. With this Medical Minute, I'm Emwin, ABC News.
Coming up, it was the final day of the Ryder Cup, and the Atlanta Braves look to take the series in Game 3 over the Washington Nationals. Sports is next.
All this week on
child trafficking in our schools.
It's something we don't talk about every day, and unfortunately we have to have those conversations because it's out there.
What are local schools doing to identify at-risk children, and what's being done to protect them?
Continuing to increase that awareness, I think, is the only hope that we have. We have a lot that we're not reaching. Adults need to be willing to step up.
A News Channel 6 special report, Hidden in Plain Sight, Tuesday on Good Morning Augusta. Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
It was another very exciting week in the NFL, and the Atlanta Falcons played in one of my personal favorite games of the year, the London game, where they took on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jags and the Falcons inside Wembley Stadium, a packed house as fans from both sides showed their team's spirit. Calvin Ridley back in action against his former team for the first time since being traded last year. First quarter, Jags ball on 2nd and long. Trevor Lawrence avoids pressure, then fires to Calvin Ridley in the end zone for a 30-yard touchdown. That's Ridley's longest TD since December 2020 with the Falcons, and Jacksonville leads 7-0. Under 5 minutes to play in the second quarter, Falcons trailing 10-0. Ritter is picked off by Darius Williams, who returns it 61 yards to the house for a pick six. Ritter would have 2 picks in the first half as the Falcons trail 17-0 at the break. Early third quarter, Falcons ball, 2nd and 1 near midfield. Bijan Robinson takes the handoff, cuts right, and then explodes up the field for a 38-yard gain. Atlanta in Jags territory. Later on in the drive, Falcons 3rd and 9 at the Jags 15-yard line. Desmond Ritter connects with Drake London in London for the touchdown. Great play by him, getting both feet in. The Falcons finally on the board to make it 17-7, but that would be the only score for Atlanta as the Jaguars get the win 23-7 in London. Meanwhile, in the USA, Bryce Young returned for the Panthers after missing week 3 with an ankle injury as they host Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. First quarter, Vikings ball on 3rd and goal. Cousins looks for KJ Osborne. It's intercepted by Sam Franklin Jr. Franklin takes it all the way back for the 99-yard touchdown. That's the longest defensive TD in Panthers history. And if we take another look at this, Kirk Cousins actually tries to tackle Franklin and gets hit pretty hard to the ground. He's okay, but the Panthers take an early 7-0 lead. Then in the third quarter, Panthers now lead 13-7. Bryce Young drops back, sees pressure, gets sacked by Harrison Smith, loses the ball. It'll be picked up by DJ Wanham, who returns it all the way for a 51-yard TD as the Vikings take a 14-13 lead. With 1 minute left in regulation, Carolina trails 21-13 on 4th and goal. Panthers need a TD and 2-point conversion to tie. Smith gets around the edge, gets another huge sack on Bryce Young, and that's it. Young went 25 for 32, 204 yards and a fumble as the Vikings survive with the 21-13 victory. Over in the MLB, the Braves hosted the Nationals for a rubber match on Sunday. Bottom of the third, Braves trail 5-2 with 2 on for Marcell Ozuna. He'll knock this one to right center field, and the Big Bear will tie it up at 5. Then in the top of the 9th, score tied at 8. The bases are loaded for Jacob Young. He'll single to left, and Garcia and Smith will score. So the Nationals take a 10-8 lead as we head on over to the bottom of the 9th. Marcell Ozuna back at the dish with nobody on and no outs. He'll send this one 385 feet to right center. That's his 2nd home run of the game, 40th of the season, and the Braves tie the MLB regular season team record with 307 home runs. Despite the offensive effort in the 9th, the Braves lose a close one in Game 3, 10-9. And finally, the last day of the 2023.
There it is. What you see is a look at Nerf ball. Hasbro gathered 12 college athletes together for the exhibition match. Players wore suits with smart pads that detect when a Nerf dart hits them. Then the suit lights up red, almost like a laser tag. The smart pads also know enough to filter out other emotions such as falling, running, accidentally bumping the suit, or even breathing. Hasbro says the new game has elements of basketball, soccer, football, and even Quidditch. A home version of the game could be ready by next year.
I'm buying it. Buying it.
That's your Christmas gift?
Yeah, you had me at Quidditch. I'm buying it.
So I was going to say the whole time Kira would love this because of your the paintball you did.
I did do paintball. It was
the other
great.
day.
Yeah.
And then when they said Quidditch, I was like, okay, 100% she needs to do this.
Battle in the bubble.
I'm excited.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm excited for the weather this week. It's going to be beautiful. No rain in the forecast Monday through Thursday. Plenty of sunshine. High temperatures very consistent, going with a high of 83 each day, low of 57. Then over the weekend, we'll see some slight changes when it comes to the rain. 20% chance, more clouds, but the big story is the temperatures. Highs falling into the 70s, but our lows will be in the upper 40s. So time to bring out some of that winter gear starting Sunday morning, continuing into next week.
All right, it's almost time for peppermint mocha.
Yes, I'm excited. So excited.
All right, thanks for watching. Our crew will be here for Good Morning Augusta at 4:30 a.m. Have a good night.